Um, actually, um, there is one other reason I wanted to meet with you today.
All right.
And we have 5 other people in the waiting room.
Hi, Chloe. Is this weird yet for you?
Yes, I've never had this happen to me before.
Well, let me tell you, I'm smiling from ear to ear. My cheeks hurt right now because this is so fun. But let me say this. Not too long ago, we were looking at Keycentrix and their founder and his values, and kind of looking at my experiences and what I like to see, and then our industry and our company and what it could do for our community. And from the list of many things, one of the lists that came up is that we thought we would like to endow a scholarship. And so what we did was we put together a scholarship called the Bruce Cochener Keycentrix Scholarship in honor of who is now passed, the founding family member of the trust that owns our company. And what we thought we'd do is we'd look and honor students that are towards the end of their major, who need that little extra love to say, you're this far, you can make it even further, and we want you to. We care about it. And so we asked WSU to find students like that for us and help award the scholarship. And the faculty here and Jesse put it all together. And as I understand it, you are the very first winner of our scholarship. And I've read a little bit about you, and I got to say, I couldn't be more proud. Congratulations.
No way! Oh, thank you so much.
One more person to introduce you to. She just joined. Her name is Jessie Stang. She is the group director for the management office for the Cochener-Garvey family set of companies, known as Cochener-Garvey Capital Partners Incorporated. And she worked alongside Bruce for years. She has, from my perspective, she's basically, in essence, part of their family, has been so invested in that portfolio and its growth and its stability. And I invited her because I thought she could speak a little to why we named it Bruce G. Cochener, and she was also super excited about this and wanted to celebrate, and thought I'd welcome her to the conversation. So Jesse, meet Chloe Ordonez.
Chloe, congratulations. We're so excited.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Jessie. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. We're thrilled that they selected you. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
You're so welcome. How sweet. How sweet.
Yeah.
So Bruce was a big proponent of education. His family, the Garvey family, has invested in educational institutions all across the Midwest. And when we brought this to the Board of Trustees and Luis said, I'd like to do this, the trustees got on board right away because they also believe, Donna, his oldest daughter, is the chairman of the Board of Trustees now. And she also is a strong proponent of education. So very excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you can share a little bit more about yourself. What's your plan in the future? Why you chose the MIS major and all that? We'd love to hear about you.
Okay, you want the full story? Oh my goodness. I'm from Houston, Texas, and after I graduated high school, I decided to go to Baylor University, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went for computer science. So I used to be a computer science major, and I spent most of my time doing computer science and coding. And most of the time was spent at 3 a.m. crying all night because something just wouldn't compile or my code would be imperfect. And then the next day my professor would be like, you could have done it better. And I'm like, are you serious? My best shot. Oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, I'll stick with coding. I can do this. And so I pushed through it, got a B for C++, and I went to part 2 with the lab. And when we got to pointers, I was like, I'm ready to end it all. I couldn't do it. And so during that time for my spring semester, this is my second semester freshman year, I took a geology class because it was a required science credit. And I met someone, he's like, yeah, I'm an MIS major, and girl, we only have to learn C#. And I was like, you only have to learn one? Crazy! Because if there was one thing that I didn't like about my experience with computer science is that there's a lot of academic integrity when it comes to one's code. And so when it was taught, they had to like teach it outside the box, and I couldn't conceptualize it if I had to. And I say that because when you show someone a math problem, right? You tell them, okay, 2 + 2 is 4. You go from step 1 to step 2, and I wanted all the steps. I needed all the steps, which is why when I took Dr. Akmal's class and had all the full steps to code it inside the book, I was like, oh my gosh. So the reason why I left Baylor was because I couldn't afford to go to it. It was like $60K a year. I was like, okay, I'll go back home. And so I went back home. I took a break year. And at the time, I met with a friend. We connected, and she's like, hey, Chloe, would you like to be a teacher? And then while I was at Baylor, I used to be in, what is it called? I used to be in an organization called C4C, Computing for Compassion. And at the time, we first started out, we did this thing called like CS Ignite with Google, where we're supposed to like teach middle schoolers how algorithms work. That was a whole thing on its own. And so when they're like, can you teach kids? I was like, yeah, middle schoolers. But then I ended up with 2-year-olds to communicate to parents that all of the activities are done every single time that they went to the bathroom, or whether or not they went outside. We would have to enter all of that data into this thing called tadpoles. And I hated it. I hated using tadpoles. I hated the user interface. I hated how hard it was to put the photos in. It was so ugly to me. And at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do something like this, like app development. But I thought that I just had to learn so many things. And so like I low-key kind of gave up on it. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to Wichita State because I heard like I heard that it's cheaper. I quit the job right after so I can come here because it's very affordable to go to school here. And I realized, okay, I want to do MIS because I found out that the thing that annoyed me the most was the user interface. And that is why I want to get into UX design or UI design.
So I love to read a little statement that we wrote to the donor here. So the MIS faculty met and we review a long list of everyone in the major who are qualified and recommend that Ms. Chloe Ordonez be considered the first recipient of the scholarship. Chloe is currently an MIS major with a strong academic record with the overall GPA of 3.49 and the major GPA of 4.00. Clearly, she's an intelligent and hardworking student. From our interaction with Chloe, we learned that she's a very driven person and she has a strong determination to excel. We believed that her major GPA is an outcome of not only her hard works, but also her passion and strong interest in pursuing careers in information technology field. We observed that she always helped her student fellows to understand class materials and always ask good questions in class. Her poise expresses both collegiality and great potential that she has in her. We are confident that when everyone gets to meet with her, you all will make the same observation that we did with Miss Chloe Ordonez as well. And that is why we recommended you to be the first recipient of this scholarship. Chloe, congratulations again.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much.